You are watching another episode in our Dark Heresy series. The Emperor Protects. You have another fate point left, right? Yeah? Yeah. Well, yes. So in that case, the Emperor Protects. Well, session 6 was tonight, and it has gone. Well, it's not technically tonight anymore because it's 12:15 at night. So it was yesterday night, even though it's sort of night now, but it's morning. Help. So, how you doing?
Me or them?
We don't have time to listen to all of their replies.
Good point. Well, I'm doing fine.
Let's get on with it then. They give you, when you're creating a character, 400 points to spend on personalising him to you. His already pre-background stuff. And it's 500 points to get to rank 2. Rank 1 is 0 to 499, you see. We didn't know, really, logically.
It was a little bit here and there. I was like, oh, does this count towards it? Is it actually going to count? Are we going to use it?
Does it count those 400? Does it mean that now you've got the 400, that the very next experience you buy, so hence spend 100, because it'll be a 100 thing, is going to make you a rank 2 straight away, and then you're rank 2, and now...
straight after the first mission.
You've just bought one thing straight away and you're rank 2, and we thought, that doesn't seem right, surely. Are they just giving you that, but you don't start counting it from now? But the editor has cleared it up. Yes, that 400 does count towards your overall experience spent amount. It isn't some separate thing, so make sure you count it. It's nice to read that as well, to know that we did it right.
Yeah, it's always good to know you've actually done something right from the beginning.
Now, another subject I want to bring up for this one is table snacking. Now, our group, we seem to have a tendency to bring a load of stuff along. What is it? Sweets, Haribo, chewy stuffs,
it's usually
popcorn,
a mix of sweets, popcorn,
Doritos,
crisps, type Fidelios,
tins of things, fizzy drinks. Just
well, the fizzy drinks, not so much the last couple. They've been going with the Ribena Lights.
Yeah, there'll come the beers as well. Cups of tea, coffee, crisps, packets of crisps.
Yeah.
What do you guys do table snacking wise? Are you playing long enough so that meals start to become an issue? How do you...
do you take breaks between to actually have proper meals?
Now, the way I'm starting to do it, because I've got a bit of a funny digestive system anyway, and a bad stomach to do with acid and that problem. What I've been tending to do now is to eat a substantial lunch instead. And then later it leaves me open to be able to just fill up on snacking.
Here and there.
And that was essentially my dinner, snacking tonight. As long as I don't push it too hard. Our common gaming table, the centre of it is just this deluge of wrappers and discarded packets of things.
Alongside all the character sheets and everything else.
We've got the little character miniatures in the middle there. In fact, just as an example, this is a
relatively small bin, but...
This is a small bin here, yes. This is the one that's next to the gaming table, and we can see it's full to the brim and overflowing with packets of things here.
Packets of crisps, drinks, coffee cups, and packets of sweets.
So I was curious, you see, as to whether any of you and your groups are as bad or worse than us. Drop us a line in the comments below.
Or for the really daring, leave a video response.
Yes, that's a good idea, actually. Leave a video response, even, showing us your gaming table, showing us the madness, the chaos, or what your table looks like. And you as the GM, you're sitting not at the table, you're over on the side, because it's only quite a small table.
The only reason I get the GM screen now is for any information I don't want to search for the book for, so I just leave it open next to me.
So you're over the other... not too far away.
Yeah, but far enough away that people will need to just get close to see my dice rolls.
Yeah, but because you're sort of separated, you aren't there for that communal picking, for the grazing from the pile.
Very true.
So what we try and do is get sections of it over to you.
Yeah.
And I find that you need to sometimes do that for your GM anyway, try and keep their energy going, not just as players, feeding them good ideas to keep their energy up, but also trying to keep their physical energy up, keeping their drinks supplied, keeping their food supplied, so it's one less thing they have to worry about. But I'm doing that a lot here anyway, because we host at my house, so I'm doing that for all the players
naturally
as well.
Host.
We shall get on to the actual happenings at the session, shall we? Yes.
The happenings in Heresy.
Well, again, we don't want to say too much, because we don't want to get into spoiler territory, do we?
Nope.
So we will say that we fought the final boss in the continuance of the mission we were in, Rejoice for You Are True. We killed that boss in 2 combat rounds. And the first I opened up on a nice grenade.
Yeah, proceeded to shoot him with various bullets.
And
Ray's even performed a flashbang.
That was the Psyker.
Yeah, flashbang's a psychic spell, causes well, literally a flashbang grenade, if you will, with a psychic power.
So we shut him down for another round, and it was in that second round we offed him. And that was that. So he didn't really get to even strike back, which, again, felt a bit of a... Is that all there is? But we are using our abilities to the best that we can, really. So
basically, even if this game does have a low survival chance rate, the problem is, the way the players want to play, it just throws survival chance rates out the window and creates a completely different situation.
It didn't help matters that Pete had his Inferno shotgun rounds going off.
No, it didn't.
And the thing with that combat shotgun is that it's full auto, 6 shots.
It's not an overly powerful full auto with 6 shots, like compared to some of the other things that are doing 10 plus.
But the fact that it's shotgun rounds
True enough.
are more powerful than assault rifle rounds. They've
True.
got more plus, haven't they?
True.
They've got plus 4
when you're
standard
plus
shotgun.
3.
Whereas the auto gun's plus 3, so it's like the D10 plus 3, and shotguns are like D10 plus 4.
The only thing he had going for him was a high amount of armor points naturally, this guy, to resist as much as he could. However, since he was wounded from a previous encounter, which was like only a day ago, he didn't really have a chance to fully heal.
This is the book we have been continuing to use, the Purge The Unclean book, and the last mission was in that. The next one we played was in that too.
This one was called Shades on Twilight.
I was expecting to find we had to kill a bunch of emo vampires, personally. This one was actually quite a fun idea, wasn't it?
It was the action-packed, more action-packed one, apparently, of the 3 missions in here.
We don't want to say too much, but we have to say this, at the very least. We had to board a Space Hulk. That's what this one's about, right from the beginning. You board a Space Hulk. It's a Space Hulk, guys! Now, for any of you that don't know what a Space Hulk is, for whatever reason, a whole bunch of ships and astral bodies...
and possibly loads of other space junk...
have come together, crushed into a series of conjoined states to become one massive ship thing.
Yeah.
Crushed ships into ships, ships into ships, and this is a massive ship that is either by chance, by nature, or on purpose fused together and is going through the warp and exiting the warp. And these things appear and disappear, and they are usually filled with very dangerous Xenos. Space Hulks, very bad place to be.
Yeah.
Blood Angels, famously in the board game, sent Terminators in to have to fight Gene Stealers. Very bad place to be.
Yeah, that's 100... That's 100 men in Terminator armor. People, that, against Gene Stealers, that mount, they wouldn't really stand much of a chance to begin with.
If you are not Space Marines, you probably shouldn't be going in there. And what do they ask us to do?
They ask us to retrieve something.
They want us to go in there. We are just Inquisition acolytes, and we were wondering, why us? And then they mentioned...
we are going to go in there and retrieve a important relic. Oh, and by the way, we're sending a Space Marine with you.
And the relic was owned by...
a previously really powerful Inquisitor in the Demon Hunters.
Inquisitor. So it falls upon us, doesn't it?
Who's been missing for 600 years.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun, even just trying to get in.
We're being shot at by giant laser beams.
That was interesting. Also, bear in mind that this was on a timer, so we had 15 hours for completion. What happens at 15 hours?
The ship will be bombarded by the Navy, because it's going to crash into a core planet in the system.
while I'm trying to avoid spoilers, I do have to talk about certain interesting elements so that I've got something to make a video about. And I will mention that this has ghosts in it. That's right, ghosts in the 40k lore, but they're warp ghosts, aren't they?
A psycho who has a powerful warp signature left behind to keep his spirits alive, pretty much how you would expect a normal ghost to appear. Oh, they got a powerful spirit, they've got unfinished business, blah, blah, blah.
I never really pegged the 40k universe as having ghosts in it.
I never really pegged the 40k universe for having undead in it, but apparently there's been a couple of situations where zombies have shown up.
Zombies have been in the 40k universe, but
so long as we don't face vampires.
To me, you know, at least zombies were still corporeal.
True enough.
I mean, you can sort of understand it from the point of view that it might be some sort of infection or, you know, Nurgle. But Nurgle's got nothing to do with ghosts.
No, that would be more Zinchi, really.
What the hell, man?
Maybe an apparition, a fake.
I mean, we get that there's demons and that, but ghosts? I mean, the concept of afterlife, it's never really...
As far as I know, when you die, your spirit is taken to the warp itself. Any mind, apart from Eldar, they are instantly destroyed. Eldar, on the other hand, will pretty much be conscious about everything that's happened while their spirit is in the warp, and Slanesh will find them very easy, as far as I'm aware.
Dirty Eldar.
You don't like the elves?
No,
even if
dirty
they're space
Eldar
elves.
with their dirty Slaneshi ways.
Yes, it's their fault. It's the Eldar's fault that there's a fourth Chaos God.
They like a little bit of tie and tease on the side.
Well, pleasure at least, anyway. In any shape or form.
There was a particular ghost, a ghost girl. She cocked her head on one side as if listening for something. And Jerichus does that because that's his listening thing, because he's got super hearing. So he's like, He did the same, thinking, oh, what am I listening for? What she's doing? And then she did it. And he's like, Can you hear what I hear? Little exchange of head cocks.
Now who's getting Slaneshi?
Yes, I think that would be a very interesting mutation to roll for. The end experience gained in this, it was 1,000.
Just for base.
Yeah, that's the base experience. 1,000, guys. 1,000. Bearing in mind that to go from rank 4 to rank 5 is 1,000 experience right there.
Yeah, well, 3,000, 2,000 to 3,000, so...
It's 1,000 experience gap.
Yeah.
So, we are now rank 5.
After all spent experience is taken into account, because of the only going up after spent experience.
I took a few interesting things. I took 2 weapon wielder ballistics, so I can shoot 2 guns now. So I'm thinking of getting, well, I've got an extra grip on my auto gun, and maybe I'll just grab another one of those and go like Arnie with a double.
Well,
assault.
in hindsight, I could have done that with the boss at the end of Rejoice for You Are True, considering how cybernetic he was. I could have gone Terminator silliness on the group.
You should have probably done that.
Yeah, that probably would have made for an interesting final part.
That's the problem. The time is gone. You'll never ever get a chance to remedy it.
Well, there's some ideas for you guys if you ever end up running it and the group pretty much own the guy in really realistically 1 or 2 rounds. There's an option for you to pull on them.
I've also pushed up my pilot civilian craft up to plus 20%, so that's maxed. So I'm already ready for the next grade up now, military craft. I've took plus 5 willpower just because of all those fear-based tests and things. I don't like minus modifiers and things against my character. Even with my jaded and other such.
I think somebody gained enough insanity during this last one to actually take an insanity test.
Well, I got enough
for a mental trauma, at least. Anyway, not a disorder.
I got enough for a trauma, which made me really paranoid and all that.
For like the next X hours, the next days,
jumpy and quirky. Which he's kind of paranoid anyway, and always scoping up. I took obviously a sound constitution as well because that's a very good idea. Putting me up to 16 wounds now.
Mm-hmm.
You should always try and take your sound constitutions because that extra wound might save your life when it comes to it. And I also went back to rank 1 to buy Silent Move. Just because I'm finding myself now wanting to scout forward ahead to check things out. And I really am the stealthily one, in the group. So I want to get to the point where I can start like breaking into facilities and things, and getting ahead and combining it with demolition,
security,
stealth, security, and demolition. And I want to team those up, and that will be how I fight. Yep. And when it goes down, I blaze with my guns. They didn't just leave us hanging there in that space hog, because we had a space marine with us.
Yay!
Yeah, and it was and not just a normal space marine. It was a Deathwatch space marine.
Or those Enos.
So these are the space marines that have been plucked, hand-picked from various chapters and brought together as a specific team to perform actions for the Deathwatch for a minimum term of 10 years that can be longer. Of course, extended or lifetime term.
More information we will go into when we actually get round to Deathwatch.
Yeah. If they're giving you a space marine, you're
probably going to prepare for the worst.
Yeah. You're gonna...
Like, oh, we got access to a free quartermaster. Okay, give me all the ammo I want.
That was a sergeant as well, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
The thing with space marines, they are just so bloody powerful. As even a 40k army for...
The Angels of Death, as they are also known.
For new players. And they are also the figureheads, of course, for Games Workshop, which makes me naturally less inclined to ever want to touch them or play them.
I'm okay with a couple, but that's only because I like their lore. 3+ save across the board, except Terminators.
What he's talking about the 3+ save is when Space Marines normally get damaged in the tabletop game, you roll a d6, right? And only 1 or 2 means that he's... dead. Dead. So basically 3 to 6 means that it's just pinged straight off his armor and that's fine. Or it's embedded in the ceramite.
Yeah.
And it hasn't hurt him at all. And he can just carry on like that. And see, when you're anyone else, you're like, quick, run to cover. But when you're a space marine, you're like, I am cover.
Yeah, get behind me, boys.
Yeah. But he's still really mobile.
Yeah.
He's got the same movement as anyone else, so...
Yeah. That's from all their implants. But they're allowed to do that as well.
I had an opportunity to use dodge to try and lessen a bit of incoming damage. Remember, you can use dodge as a reaction once per turn in a combat turn. You can do it against ranged or melee attacks. It's something all of you should really know about, even if you don't have it as a skill. Because it is a basic skill, which means that any of you can attempt a dodge at least half your agility to attempt to completely not suffer any of the damage. Because you allowed it as a free reaction per turn. So why not just do it? Now, Caractacus Potts, our cleric.
Ooh.
He's got his skull.
It's back, but it's just a scouty skull where it has to go to him and come back to register the information.
And also he got his weapon.
He got a demon hammer. Or an anti-demon hammer, I should say. It's a normal hammer that's been upgraded to be sanctified. Anointed, if you will.
So what does it do?
All its special rules it gains only work against demons, nothing else. Anything with a demonic trait or talent will only be affected by its special rules.
Well, that's good. He's a cleric.
And a banisher. Oh yeah, and I might want to add that due to extra money he's paid towards it and adding extra weight, he has added a chain sword effect to his hammers. It's basically counting as a mono applied to his weapon.
Okay.
Pretty much count, so you know.
Yeah.
2 extra penetration to the weapon damage. But yes, hammers solve everything.
Yeah, that's normally his motto. Hammers solve everything.
They don't solve everything when you're dealing with a dangerous Xeno holographic image projector.
But if you hit it with your hammer...
it explodes.
It will do something very, very terrible. And it did something very, very terrible to him. Pretty much outright killing him.
Almost. It's a ton of damage to him, at least. He's just got lucky that it's a non-sentient piece of equipment.
Because it rolled a 10, which would be Righteous Fury normally.
On player characters and boss-level creatures, if you will.
The idea of these crits is when you roll a 10 on your dice, or on the d10, basically the 0 result...
for damage.
You then confirm it by rolling to hit again for that die. Roll a single d10 additionally and add that to the 10 result.
And if it's another 10, you roll again, and you keep going until you get no more 10s.
So you could keep getting another 10, another 10, another 10.
If you're really lucky. you could end up with something ridiculously high amount of damage and basically just one shot because you just got the Emperor's blessing on you.
Yeah.
Or in the case of a tech priest, maybe the Omnicized blessing because the weapon's machine spirit was fine with you.
But yes, that put him in a very low health state. But then something surprising, something else came along, hit him really hard by surprise.
And would have killed him outright.
If not for a fate point.
Yes.
So he had to burn a fate point. Remember, guys, this is the difference between spend a fate point and burning one. Spending one is your daily allowance is down by 1. So it's a bit like the fortune points in Woothrup. But then burning one is it's reduced permanently.
To do various things, like save your life.
Yeah, and that's what he just had to do here. The loss of these fate points, they're really a good idea. I mean, if you've got characters sometimes losing fate points, you know that the adventure was difficult enough and it was pressing enough on the characters that they aren't going to get an easy ride of it, that they can't stock up all of these bloody fate points and feel impervious to everything. Thanks again for tuning in, everybody. This has been Robert Fremantle and Laurie Cousins. See you at the table.